great news for real estate investors.
How would you like to be a boss? I'm going to show you how. So let's talk about wholesaling now. Hi, I'm Noelle Randall, and on today's show, we're going to be talking about how to invest in real estate the right way. So there's so many times that people in all these different videos where people are showing you how to flip a house, but they never really show you everything step by step by step. So that's what I'm going to do in today's video, and I'm going to tell you the 3 things that are most important. So the first thing before we ever get into a flip that we really want to talk about is how much you should pay for a house and why you don't want to overpay for a house. So many other real estate investors, what they do is they go on the internet and they may look at sites like Zillow or Realtor.com or Trulia and things like that. And I'm going to tell you what the problem with that is. Those houses are priced at retail prices. They basically just get the information from the multiple listing services, also known as MLS, and those prices are retail prices. And if you're going to do a flip, you really need to buy prices, pay wholesale prices for your home. So you don't want to pay a retail price, because if you start off paying too much for the house, then you have to do repairs on the house, then try to sell it. You're not going to have any profits. So again, step number 1 is buy the house at the right price, and the right price is a wholesale price. And I have other videos where I show you how to get houses at wholesale prices, where you should be looking, how to find the best deals. But again, if you're going to do a fix and flip, which I'm going to tell you all the steps to, you got to start with paying the right price for the house. Do not overpay for the house. Market and find people with property problems, and then you get the house for pennies on the dollar, find you a contractor, fix it up, and sell it. Step 2, location. Location is so important in real estate investing, and it's so important when you're flipping houses. You really cannot just buy a house anywhere, because that's going to be a problem for you. You really want to start buying houses that you're going to flip in places that people are buying. Because remember, your whole strategy is buy the house cheaply, fix the house up, and then sell it. So if you buy a house in a location where no one is buying houses, you're going to just be stuck with a house, especially if your plan, again, is to fix and flip, which means you're going to sell it at the end. Now, mind you, you may have a different strategy where we'll talk about where you can put a tenant in the property so that you got the house at a really cheap price. You fixed it up for a tenant, and now the tenant lives in there and you're getting some passive income. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about selling the house, because you want to make sure you sell the house quickly. So that's going to require the house being in a great location. So let's talk about what that means. What is a great location? There's going to be some stats that you really need to look at to make sure that you're buying a house in a really good location. That's going to depend on the zip code, the job outlook for that area, the employment rate, and a couple of other things like schools, neighborhoods, crime rates, and things like that. I'll actually post a link below of the things that you should look for when you're buying a house to fix and flip. But remember, location is everything. This is not just for if you're going to buy a house to live in for yourself. Location is pretty much everything when it comes to real estate, and so it's no different when you're fixing a flip, when you're doing a fix and flip. And the most important thing, not the most important, but one really, really important thing is the repairs that you do on the home. So as you'll notice, I am currently standing in a house that we are fixing and flipping. And so it's really important that you have good contractors. And of course, everyone knows a good contractor is one that shows up on time, has great prices, and does great work. So that's pretty simple. But let's talk about the repairs themselves. You want to be really careful that you're not just doing what you like in the property, that you're really fixing the property up to sell to someone else. So you want to make sure that you are not over improving for the neighborhood, which basically means if the rest of the houses in your neighborhood have wood floors, for example, you want to make sure your house also has wood floors. If your house All the houses in the neighborhood have granite countertops. You want to make sure your house has granite countertops and stainless steel and some of the things that buyers are looking for. But you don't want to go too far with it. You don't want to start putting in things that you like that are not, customary for the neighborhood that you're in. So I'll give you a great example. In this house here, you'll notice this beautiful fireplace. The neighborhood that we're in, all of these houses have really beautiful fireplaces. Now, one of the things, in the 2018, 2019 market is stone on a fireplace instead of bricks. But if the houses in these neighborhoods have bricks on the fireplace, I'm not going to change that and start over improving and doing things that I like for the property. I really just want to make sure I'm improving the house so that I can sell it, but not doing too much where I'm not going to be able to sell it, or I'm not going to get the value for what I spent on that repair. So again, let me recap that for you. Just using the fireplace as an example. Okay, so I left the bricks on this fireplace because all of the other houses in this neighborhood had bricks on the fireplace. Now, if I spent an extra $2,000 to change this whole fireplace to make it really modern, where it was 2019 style, I would be wasting my money and I wouldn't get it from the buyer. So when the buyer comes to buy the house, they're going to say, oh, that's not really anything special. Yeah, it's nice, but it's not going to increase the value of the property. So again, remember, the concept is improve the house, do quality work, but don't do too much, okay? So it's a nice little balance there. And if you can do those things and do it right, you'll have a profitable fix and flip.